Hello, everyone. We are back. The show is called TBR SSF Show. It is myself, the Saubrey boys, Walefatshe. I'm joined by the Man City man, Peter Stirrup. Pete, let's greet the viewers and then let's get down to business.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Hope you enjoy the show.
Guess what? We have now surpassed 1,000 subscribers,
Nice.
um, which is quite good. Moreover, you're not putting too much effort on it, but it's very spontaneous, which is quite good. Um, Things have been happening. I'm sure you know now. The Mbokazi story, which is something that we're gonna continue with, and then we'll also talk about the Messi special. But I'm sure you know that today there is what you call Orlando Pirates. They are playing All Stars. Uh, this is nice, Pete, because as you talk about MLS, they have their own design of their tournaments. Now, in South Africa, this is what they do, which should be credited to PSL, led by Dr. Avin Koza. After the Nedbank tournament, the winner of, no, the Carling Cup, the winner of that tournament will play against the best 11 from the PSL. All right, and then the coach will be voted. All those are voted. So it's their own innovation. And then last night when I checked, they had already sold about 26,000 tickets for that. So they are playing this afternoon, Orlando Pirates versus the All Stars. So that's one of the things that is happening today. We'll see what's going to happen. Now, but the big story is the one of Mbokazi. We all know what's happening there. Um, Everybody is, how can I put it? People are asking questions. What happened? Why?
Emotion.
Pardon?
People are emotionally charged.
Yeah, they are really emotionally charged. And remember, I don't know whether you saw my interview with Khabo Zondo. The reason why I did that one with Zondo is a coach, all right, who has been with Bafana. So he's at the right space. Not only Bafana and Mamelodi Sundowns. So he's a high-profile coach. So you'll understand. So I was listening to the coaches commenting about this. So yes, everybody is hitting at Hugo Bros. Well, I don't know what to say about UDM, them lodging a article with human rights.
Human rights, yeah.
I don't understand. Well, maybe they feel like doing that. I would have expected them to play more role in their political space where I don't see them much. But look, it's a very topical topic, so you cannot deny them to also make a comment on it. Um, yeah, let's talk about that, Pete. And then the other thing, what I want us to address, we all agree Hugo Bros was wrong. The outburst was uncalled for. But I wanted you to also to compare with what happened internationally with other players. This does not mean that the misbehavior by Mbokazi should be ignored. I listened to Hugo Bros. He said, I got a call from the coach of Orlando Pirates who was very angry. Underline that. The coach of Orlando Pirates was very angry with the behavior of Mbokazi. All right? Well, I don't know in English what you guys say. Thina ngesizulu sithi igojwa isemanzi. Then kaSesotho, anake kaSesotho thupa igojwa isalemethi. AsiSotho thujwa igojwa isalemethi, which means, you know, when you have this, no, you know the stem of the leaves inside water, all right? and then they become soft. Then you can be able to bend them. So the implication are while the kid is still young, you need to show him the way. So the saying means that. I don't know. In English, what do you guys say? I'm not good at that.
You surprised me with that one. Let me think about that one in
Okay,
a
no, that's
quiet
fine.
period.
Yeah, that's fine. So that's it. So people should not ignore the fact that Mbokazi fought at here. And he's young, all right? And then there were news surfacing, and we did not take them serious. Him being shown, being in a party and all that. I know Tabiki said he's young and all that.
Yeah.
But being young also goes with responsibility. We need to do it now. Now, I want you to give me the analysis, compare with other players in other parts of the world, your Paul Pogba, Anelka, and so on. So, yeah, Hugo Bros, we agree, is wrong. Okay? And Coach Khabo Zondo gave a very good advice. Coach, go out there and apologize, the storm will stop. All right.
Yeah.
I hear people making silly noise. No, he must go. He must go. Can't do that. On the eve of the AFCON. All right, that's one. Well, the majority, and I must say the majority because I see on social media, of Chiefs fans, they want him gone. Based on the fact that he doesn't select Chiefs players. That doesn't hold any water for me. All right, Pete, let me allow you to say, and then I'll give you other things that I've picked up.
Yeah, definitely let his emotions get the better of him there. But we're all human. We all do it. But still, what he said was a bit rough. It just gives people the opportunity to, turn this into something maybe that it isn't. I mean, he hasn't explained himself or whatever there, but I'm not defending him by any means. I mean, he was also a little bit on the sexist side with Mbokazi's agent, and that's all common knowledge. We know that. I think the worry for me, nobody can argue with the fact that a coach's job is not just to get his players to play a certain way and to deliver the goods, but it's also to instill discipline. Now, I don't know why Mbokazi missed his plane. I don't think that's come out in the washing now at this stage. But you're playing for your national team here. And for the coach to actually receive that information via, Orlando Pirates, why didn't Mbokazi phone the Hugo Bros? Because he knew. I'll tell you why. I'm answering my own question here. He knew that he would get a Stearns telling off, let's put it that way. So yes, I think there's some responsibility on the player as well. Let's not forget that. That's for sure. But he is young. He is young. So I mean, and this just goes to show for me that when emotions are high, we need to keep a calm head. I mean, I don't know when Hugo Bros received that news. Now I know we all saw the press briefing when he was uh, when he made those utterances that he did. How soon or what was the difference between receiving that information that Mbokazi wasn't going to make it to actually the press briefing? I don't know that time period there, but yeah, you could see he was hopping mad, and yeah, but still, and it's out of line what you said. And I think when the emotion dies down, I think he would be the first one to admit that. And the thing is, for me, um, we don't need that in this country. We don't need these. We've come from a history of this sort of nonsense, and it's time for us to move on and go together, and not make such, one could say, unprofessional. Actually, you remember we're always saying, that the player's unprofessional, but in that particular instance, I think Hugo's guilty of the same sin there. Yeah, with those utterances. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I kind of get it, but I don't get what he said. It's like I said to you, I think the other day when we discussed this. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Yeah.
Maybe need to borrow him the book of Dale Carnegie, the one that you borrowed me
Yeah.
some years back, how to win friends and how to win and influence people. So maybe that's what, because he's always reckless, to be honest. But you can't take away the good job that he's doing. Yeah.
Even it reminds me a lot of what's his name now, the Portuguese guy that is currently at Benfica.
Mourinho.
Mourinho, yeah. He's very like Mourinho. He just puts it out there, and he's very, what do they call it? It's impulsive.
Yeah.
He wants to make a difference. I know that for sure. And he has already made a difference. But now my worry is, how is that going to affect the team? Actually, and well, I did see I saw this morning when I was trying to get more updated information in the Sowetan, I think it was, that they seem to have had their discussions and they've buried the hatchet, as one might say. They've sort of like had their discussions and probably shouted at each other and whatever they do in those closed doors or whatever. But if that's the case, if Mbokazi can upset that, maybe we have to sort of like, in some way, just wait and see what happens, to see whether. I think a public apology wouldn't be a bad thing from Hugo. That's my opinion there. But whether that will happen or not, we don't know what's going to happen with Safa, etc., now. But one thing's for sure, it's not good for the team. Like you say, now we're going into this tough competition that is it might affect the team negatively, and if that's the case, he's actually defeated the object of actually instilling the discipline in the first place. Instill discipline in order to get team cohesion, but then when things like this happen, it can have the opposite effect. So what's your take?
Okay, let me start here. Firstly, thank you for your research. Helped. You quoted a player like Sergio Ramos, who's known to be getting yellow cards and costing the team a lot. There's an element of ill discipline there. I hear that he wanted to join Messi, wanted still to play with Messi at Inter Miami. We hear so many rumors. They haven't done anything, they haven't decided. He still can deliver. Maybe some of those things, they play a role in Messi's mind, because you can see Messi is a very disciplinary in a very quiet way. A player like Paul Pogba, whom you quoted very well, he's paired with Coach Mourinho. It didn't do well for his reputation. And then, the last thing, he was alleged to be involved in this dope scandal and what have you. And look now, and then he ended up losing the wife due to the fact that now he was not making money now. Gareth Bale being accused of spending most of his time in the golf course. Not only that, we've got Jabu Pule here on our shores, who has had his wayward behavior. There was I don't know, Mbuto from Bethlehem, where I come from. Also, and then he's down and out. We don't know whether he's still around or what. I don't know whether this youngsters, they can see that you have a player like Cristiano Ronaldo who shows high level of discipline and there is longevity. There is Messi who has a high level of discipline, there is longevity. So they need to model their life around those guys. And as I said the other time, that David Beckham was saying, we start the training at 10, but this man is here at 7 o'clock, or 4 hours before the training, and then start working on his own. So those are some of the things that I think our youngsters, and there's no way we can start babysitting Mbokazi. But I don't agree with Hugo Bros. I've done psychology at school. Psychology tell you about two minds, conscious and subconscious mind. What he said, describe him. He came in as a black guy, he came out as a white guy. That means Hugo Bros is a racist. He wasn't aware. You see, one who has done psychology will tell you that this describe him, okay? But in terms of the job, this guy has done a tremendous work. And I listened to him speaking about Thembinkosi Lodge because there was noise around Thembinkosi Lodge. He says, listen to his argument. He says Thembinkosi Lodge was with Pirates. Because of his off-field behavior, Pirates chased him. He went to Sundowns due to his relationship with Rulani Mukwena. Then he continued with those antics. Then Sundowns chased him. Then he said now he's with Wadidat. 6 months, performing well. And then and now he asks a very good question. What should I do? Who should I replace if I bring Thembinkosi Lodge? You know what I'm saying? And it's a valid argument. As a coach, you must decide, who do I take? Are you saying you should replace Mbuli and bring Thembinkosi Lodge? All right. And then we see the impact that Mbuli is making in the squad. Yes, we know that he gave Mbuli a chance. I cannot condemn him for that. All right. And he cannot select all the players we like. As for Chiefs fans, come on, guys, grow up. Allow the coach to make a decision. I always say the yardstick is he winning or losing? If he's winning, what else? What do you want? What do you want? So who should he take out in that squad? Because already he has a squad, a solid squad. And funny enough, some of our colleagues in the media space, they come with their own agenda, pushing a particular narrative. No, coach, November, why can't you have a friendly just to accommodate Chiefs players? The guys even said, and see whether no, he has already decided. He said there's no time, and he went on to say, I have the majority of players from Orlando Pirates, and Pirates is involved in a lot of games, and they need break. These are human beings. So come on, guys. I don't agree. Hugo Bros has made a decision. I don't agree with what he said. And the other thing that really, really hurt me, hence I agree with Khabo Zondo to say, go out there and apologize. He said, this is what he said. He said, Pirates gave me a reason, whatever nonsense. You can't say that as a coach. All right. And Pirates have given you players. Pirates could have said, no, we don't give you players. All right. So now this is how you describe it. Of course, I don't agree with what Pirates were trying to do according to his utterances, that they were trying to defend the player. You don't have to babysit the player. The player must be told you're wrong, and this kind of behavior is not going to be tolerated. I said, Khabo Zondo said he's not against him disciplining the players. He went further to say, we don't know what happened. That's what he said. That's coach. Peter Usman said, it's difficult as a coach of the national squad. And being a coach of national squad is very difficult. And discipline, it's high up there. All right. If you allow people to do as they please, that was Peter now, a former national coach. I listened to Doc Kumalo, who plays for the national squad. the man that whom we hold him in high regard, Dog said, you know what, I don't agree with disciplines. All of them are talking about discipline. I'm talking about people who are coaches, former players, and they're also talking about discipline. So we are fans, we don't know, okay? So our job is to educate. I'm saying we need to balance things. And Paris fans too should not argue from a perspective of saying, no, we try to defend a Paris. But it's not a Paris player now, it's a national player squad. That's what I can say about this. And I'm saying, listen to the coaches, people who are involved, listen to the former players, people who knows were in the national squad, and they know that these boys, they do take something to entertain themselves, but discipline is there at utmost best. I don't know what do you think?
You know, I'd like to take it maybe a little bit out of football a bit there. If you think of people that have gone off the rails because fame came upon them too quickly, and
Mm,
they weren't necessarily, they were seen as a means to, to earn money for other people.
mm,
I mean, if you look at what happened to Michael Jackson, say, for example, I mean, that guy, his doctor was feeding him propofol and all that sort of stuff. And look what happened to Michael Jackson eventually.
mm,
Amy Winehouse, the singer,
mm,
she wrote that song Rehab and all that sort of thing. But a father, her own father, sort of like, wasn't really supportive of helping her to get out of the trouble that, she got in because of fame.
mm,
With fame, the maturity is, and the way that fame comes upon you is sometimes you're not ready for that. You're ready with the talent, yes, but you're not ready mentally for, what you're about to you're about to experience. And I don't think, we've spoken about this in the past there, and I just wanted to take it a little bit out of football a little bit there, and then we can bring it back.
mm, mm, mm,
I don't think we do enough to support our players, to make sure that they are coached, if you like, but coached not in a football sense, coached in a, how to manage. Like I think we've also said, maybe they should be taught, a little bit of financial management, etc., etc., etc.
mm,
These young guys don't know what's coming to their way. I mean, and that's my fear because in the meantime, when he goes to the USA, there
mm,
there'll be glitz and glamour, and we spoke about that on a previous show.
mm,
And who's going to look after this dude? I know he's a grown man, as some people would see him. But at
mm.
the end of the day, if I look back, was he 22, 23?
To 2022 or so, yeah. No, I think it's 20.
It,
That's 19 not
yeah,
long ago. Mm,
you know
mm,
what I'm saying? Just think back to when we were
mm.
19, 20. We think we know it all, but actually we know nothing.
You
We're
know what?
still learning. Yeah.
Sorry to cut you short. Hugo Bros himself said it.
Mm.
In Chicago, alone, in a big city, what's going to happen?
Yeah,
In other words, I'm
exactly.
adding to what you said. Now, on
Mm.
the issue of the agent, there is a bit of some truth on what he said. He said the agent is all about money. And then he also gave an advice and say, if I were you, if I were in your position, make no mistake, there's a lot of wisdom in Hugo Bros. If I were you, I would wait for the boy to play for the AFCON and play for the World Cup. His value would go up and the demand would increase. That's a point. That's a point.
Yeah,
I think he
but
has it
Saubrey, what's
correct.
gonna what's gonna what's gonna stop that from happening anyway?
Pardon?
If he concentrates on his football and puts this behind him now,
Yeah, yeah,
and he plays in the AFCON, and he plays nicely for Bafana, and he plays nicely in the World Cup there, his value will still go up.
yeah. We'll
You
still
know what
go
I'm
up.
saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
mm. Yeah, but
My worry, my worry is when he goes that side to Chicago.
mm,
Is he now not going to be seen in the same arenas that he would be seen if he'd have gone maybe to Europe or even stayed here, for example. I don't know. It's a tough one. And look, it's his future, it's his life. He has the opportunity, and that's been put before him, and he's decided to go with it. I mean, we've all made those decisions in our life. Should I go this way? Should I go that way? And sometimes it doesn't work out. That's just the way it is. So I think we've got to support him in his decision. I'm just worried about him. I am worried about him. We'll have to see how that works out over, when he goes that side. But yeah, sometimes like you become invisible maybe if you go out of the more popular leagues there. I mean, Chicago Fire, they're there, but they're not Miami, for example. They're not Miami by any means. But we're still learning this league. And I don't even think either of us, and in that respect, I think we've been investigating what is this MLS? Who's playing there? Why do they go there? How is it coming? How is it now growing? Is it gonna be something that's really serious, which I think maybe it is? So maybe let time do its job. We will see how this works out. But I am worried for him as an individual, being on his own out there, and all the glitz and glamour that may come his way there. And I just hope he's got a support system, that will help him with that.
Yeah, it's not
Because what?
it's not all gloom and dark.
No.
Sometimes we need to read between the lines.
Yes.
I don't agree what Hugo said. I've already said that. But let's see what is he saying. Any good message to take home. And Mbokazi is still very young. Fortunately enough, Helman Mbekezeli said, no, the matter has been resolved. And then they've smoked a peace pipe.
Peace pipe, yeah.
And then, I don't know. And the fans, they say he must go. I don't know what thinking he came through. But what is also worrying, I don't hear Safa saying anything.
Exactly.
This is that exactly worrying. I would have expected Safa to show up and say, no, we know the situation, we are addressing it. You understand what I'm saying? So unlike them being mum and saying nothing, it doesn't occur well. During this time, leadership is required. During this time, leadership is required.
And
Okay.
speaking of leadership,
yeah,
I actually the minister's done really well in this case. He's actually stood back and said, "Listen, I want to know what's going on. Until I get that information back, I'm remaining silent on this one." Kudos to him. I think that he could have quite easily have jumped on the political bandwagon.
Yeah, he has surprised me.
Yeah.
From him, he really surprised me because I know him is he can't miss the limelight, But he has behaved very well this time. I concur.
He showed some maturity there.
Yeah, let's move on, Pete, because time is against us. Look, I don't know. Rooney's, I think, son, or they were involved in an accident with the wife. So Messi sent the message. Oh, I've shown the different one. Messi arrived in Calcutta, and then it was a bus from airport. As you can see, this guy is just phenomenal. He's there now, that part of the world, and then this is really amazing. Yeah. And then the other thing that I wanted to share is this one of Rooney. Rooney's son, I think they were involved in an accident. So Messi sent a message to Rooney and on his tweet, according to this social media post, which is a good thing if Messi has done it, And apparently there's, set the stage alight I liked everybody was commenting, oh, now Messi came in favor, in support of Rooney. And that's good. What do you want to say about that?
Well, it just shows the mark of the man, eh? He didn't need to say that. He wouldn't have been thought of badly if he'd have said nothing. Uh, but it just shows you how in touch he is with the football world. And I mean the world.
Mm.
You've seen him in India now. Now we're talking about Rooney back in England there. I'm not sure if he's still the manager of Derby County. I know they weren't doing very well, but I'm not sure if they
Mm.
booted him out at this stage. But yeah, it's it's the mark of the man. I wish there was
Mm.
more. I wish there was more uh, people like him in the football fraternity.
People were comparing.
But he is special. But he is special, as you rightly point out.
People were comparing that with what Ronaldo said about the World Cup. What message are you sending to the youngsters? Youngsters, they look World Cup as a prestigious tournament. Then he said,
Mm.
it doesn't matter. 8 games, you know? No, Ronaldo must stop being obsessed with Messi. Uh, my honest opinion about this, Ronaldo is not surrounded by good people. He's surrounded by praise singers. And then he doesn't sit back and reflect. He's causing more harm to his image. All right.
But maybe you could have added.
What
You
happened
could.
if he wins the World Cup? What is he gonna say? Because Ronaldo changed tunes. What's gonna happen? That's another
Yeah,
thing that you need to think of.
yeah,
If he
yeah,
wins the
sure.
World
It's
Cup,
only 8 games, but it's 8 games in the most prestigious football competition in the whole world.
we regard.
And this is why it is so important for Bafana to be on that stage. This is speaking for, and we all know that there's Tunisia, there's other teams in Africa that are going to represent the continent. But for
Mm,
Buzzin and Zanzi, yeah, this is really important for us. And we've been absent for how long?
for many
How
years,
long?
for
20
many
years,
years,
man. 20 years
yeah.
plus.
Yeah, I think we
And
last went there 2002
that's correct.
and 2010, not on merit.
We got a free
2002 on
pass.
merit.
We got a free pass on
Yeah, yeah,
2010.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Pete, I just want to explain the MLS a little bit. Before you go there, I just want to say, because we don't have time now,
Yeah.
this is good news. The president or the king, the prince of Saudi Arabia, he wants to buy a stake in Inter Miami. You see, Al Nasser, Khalid, the one who owns PSG, your boss there at PSG, I mean at Man City, the owner of Man City, they got the money from the funding that was created by the prince.
Mm.
All right. This is
Yeah.
big. And I hope if it's true, Beckham will accept this. And it will make Miami untouchable. And if this happens, for me, in my corner, I don't think I'm correct. Maybe I'm wrong. It's my own analysis at a distance. Khalif, the president of PSG, I think he sniped Messi when Messi was at PSG. I don't know what's going to happen if now the prince get a stake at Inter Miami. So that will go direct to him to say, you know what, you made a mistake. You had an opportunity to have the best player in the world. You never treated him likewise. You wanted to treat him inferior to Mbappe. And I'm happy that Mbappe has realized that, Messi's way above me. He has accepted that. So, yeah, if this happens, it's a game changer. I don't know. What do you want to say about this?
Yeah. I agree. 100%. We were talking about, whether it's considered that Chicago Fire, et cetera, the MLS, whether it's a league that, in this case, Mbokazi should have gone to rather than, say, a European club after maybe another year of playing AFCON and the World Cup to put his stamp on the the world there to show him exactly who he is.
Mm,
And in that respect, I agree with because now you signed up now with Chicago Fire. I'm not sure how long the contractual period is, to be honest
mm,
with you. But
mm,
you see, if you make a wrong choice when you're contractually obligated, say 5 years maybe, or three
mm,
years, then you're pretty,
mm,
unless there's an out clause, then you're stuck. So if you do make that mistake as a youngster, you know, then it becomes a little bit more long-term implication rather than anything else.
mm,
But yeah,
mm,
if that comes right, you'll see this American. But remember, it's not just the American Football League. Eh? The MLS includes the Canadian football teams as well. Um, and I'm not sure whether our viewers have actually picked that up. Um,
mm.
that well, whatever happens, it's definitely gonna have an impact on the viewership, I think, of the
Mm,
MLS over the next
mm,
coming years. And we've had this discussion as well about the Club World Cup.
mm.
I think watch that one as well. I think that's also it's gonna be one to watch.
This is big, Pete. This is big. I know we don't discuss politics, but if you look at the political movement, BRICS, it's something
Mm.
else, with Saudi Arabia being there. And I don't know whether you've seen, there's what you call C5. Have you seen C5? Which is China, Japan,
Oh yeah.
USA,
Mm.
USSR, without Africa, without
Mm.
Europe. And this is the idea that is being now purported or be proposed by Donald Trump.
Mm.
And the prince, I think, is positioning Saudi Arabia to in a geopolitical way. Remember
Probably.
Dubai when in 1990 it was a desert.
Yeah. Look at it
Today,
now.
they said it. They want it to be the best city than New York. And who's the tourist attraction today? Dubai. Did you understand? So you may
Mm.
think that the prince is just doing it, and he's very young.
Uh,
He's not just doing it. He understands very well. That is why Saudi Arabia has appointed Messi as their ambassador because the president of the United States, which is Donald Trump, apparently is proposing what you call C5. And what is C5? C5 is United States, China, Russia, India, and Japan. And they argue, they say these are the countries with more than 100 million people. There is a shortcoming there because if you go to Nigeria, they way have more than 100 people. Yeah,
yeah.
that's what is happening in the world now. There's BRICS,
Yeah.
and remember G20, there's issue around G20, G7, and so on. Yes, we are a sports program, but we educate geopolitical so that you understand. So that's basically what I wanted to share. So I say the prince is positioning himself. It's not a question of and which better vehicle to use if not Lionel Messi. Now, currently, Lionel
Yeah.
Messi for me is like Michael Jackson. He's like Nelson Mandela. All right, these are huge phenomena who can change the thinking of a lot of people. You saw when I show you when he was in Qatar, when he landed, apparently it
Mm.
was buzzing. People were chanting Messi, Messi, Messi. So so the
And
prince
it's not a big football nation either, India.
no, he's just visiting there.
Yeah.
They called him, they invited him,
Yeah.
and so the prince is not just doing it for the sake of of doing it. All right. So yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. Now, Pete,
Yes,
remember,
sir.
we're still educating people about MLS. All right.
That mysterious.
Yeah,
That mysterious football league there on the other
yeah,
side. Huh?
yes. Because I was just explaining, and while I'm still there, Doc Kumalo said, "No, Hugo Bruce is mistaken. Chicago Fire. It's a big club. It's a big club. MLS. That's Doc Kumalo." Said, "Can you imagine Mbokazi is going to face Lionel Messi? How can you say that?" I think he missed it there. And and and
Yeah.
and and my analysis of earlier on of saying, I'm sorry to say it, this sounds like Hugo Bros is racist. That statement was from a subconscious mind. And then
Yeah.
normally they say the message that come from subconscious mind is a true reflection. I'm sorry, Hugo, if I'm saying that's my analysis. If this is what I understand, because that statement for me, I don't know how did it feature. He came in as a black guy, he went out as a white guy. You are throwing so many, but I support the coach, and I fully agree with Coach Khabo Zondo. If you want to weather the storm, go out there and apologize. Make a public apology. Don't waste time, because the more it prolongs, the more people have their own interpretation. Like I'm saying,
Yeah.
like I said, your Chiefs fans, they have their own gripe. Don't take Chiefs fans players and then they jump on the bandwagon. Those who are for Nyoso, that is Temmingosi Lodge, they call him Nyoso, his nickname. And then he's arguing to say, who do I take out? So let's allow him to decide and make a decision, and then there will be results. Then we'll take it from there. Do you understand? So Pete, MLS. And then before you go to MLS, earlier on I explained about the Carling Cup, which is playing today. That's why we are educating to say in South Africa we have a Carling Cup. The team wins, and then they play against 11 selected teams in the country. So MLS, they also have their own. Pete is doing some research on that. Pete, give us the news. What's happening with MLS? We want to understand it because we are watching it now.
Ah, you know what though? This is a bit like when you go to school and you're learning a new subject. And initially, you know, you study and you study and you study and you think you're getting somewhere there with it, and then all of a sudden you become overwhelmed. I think I'm at that stage at this stage, but I'm going to try and make out what I found here and see whether, we learn together. So now Miami won the cup over there, and the MLS Cup. And by winning that MLS Cup, Inter Miami qualifies directly for the round of 16 of the 26 CONCACAF Champions Cup. This is actually huge because they skip the first round and get a direct ticket to the more prestigious part of the tournament. And more than that, they will face the winner of the matchup between Nashville SC Soccer Club, presumably, and Atletico Ottawa. There's Atletico Ottawa. Remember now, this is the Canadian side of this deal. So Nashville are the Open Cup winners, whatever the tournament is within the United States, will face Atletico Ottawa, who are the 2025 Canadian Premier League champions, in a two-legged round, one series. The first leg will be in Ottawa, and the second leg will be in Nashville, and they take place more or less somewhere between February the 3rd and 26th of 2026.
Mm-hmm.
How did that happen? Well, there was a draw took place, just like when we have the AFCON, they take a draw, and then you know which group you're going to be in, etc., etc. So the draw apparently took place on December the 9th in 2029 in Miami, which then pitted these two teams against each other. Nashville is making its second Champions Cup appearance. They were there in 2024. Well, Atletico Ottawa is debuting in the tournament. So why do they play Inter Miami? Well, this is it. If Nashville, who will play Miami, sorry. If Nashville SC wins a two-legged battle on aggregate goal decision, They'll advance to the round of 16 to face none other than Miami in that'll be their first opening game. If it goes the other way, then obviously they will play the Canadians. So imagine the possibility of Lionel Messi, Sergio Busquets, Luis Suarez taking on the Nashville if they make it through. So just to give you the draw process, which is what they said here, the 2026 CONCACAF Championship Cup draw happened on December 9. We know that now. Inter Miami won because of the MLS Cup. They also got a seeding as the second highest ranked club in the CONCACAF. Miami is preceded into the round of 16. So it's very complicated, this thing, but it's giving us some insight as to how this thing works. I think, yeah. Why is it cool? Why is this, why should we get excited about this? Because Inter Miami, are fresh off the MLS Cup winning, enters the continental stage, for the second time, I think I said. And then the winner of that A game will face, obviously, so it could be an all-American deal if Nashville win, or it could be an intercontinental deal with the Canadians if Ottawa win. So yes, it is quite a thing. But there's still a lot more that I need to research about this MLS in order to fully understand how it works there, because the US Open Cup, I don't know what is it the equivalent of, in terms of Europe or even the African continent. So there is still some research to be done here. Yeah.
Thanks,
But
Pete.
as we say,
Yeah,
I think we're gonna see more of the American teams coming through in competitions, especially if we're going to be backed by the Saudis, irrespective of whatever geopolitical you know turbulences that are running around the world these days. But there's one thing they say, Saubrey, there's nothing more certain than change, except change itself. So this is what's happening in the world at the moment. Mr. Trump has become a disruptor.
Well, it's a revolution. The revolution has started. We see it in front of our eyes. When the Bastille fell in France, people never saw it coming. But that's how revolution. It's a revolution. You don't see it, You just knock at your door, it's there. Pete, thanks for giving us the news around MLS, because we want to understand, we want to educate. But before we go, hence Messi is now at India. I mean, he's in India now. I think he's there in a break. But come January, they are going to play 2 friendly games. As you can see on my screen there. The 31st, they are playing Nationale, Atletico Nacional, and then on the 7th, they play another one with Barcelona SC. I don't know what is Barcelona SC, when I know Barcelona FC.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll hear that. And the other good news, the Messi Cup ended, and then I think it was taken by River Plate from Argentina, and then all the players, or the young players of River Plate, they were taking photos with Messi one by one, to archive it. This reminds me of content. Messi does mesmerize Chelsea, and then Conte stopped Messi to take a peek, and they were blaming him to say, "We have lost to this." He said, "Hey, this man is the best player in the world. Where am I going to get a chance to take a peek with him?" So
yeah, it's just unfortunate for the world that he's 38 now. That's all.
Yeah.
We needed more. We needed more out of this man before he retires.
He just said, "Where am I going to get him?" No, you can't blame him. And it was
Mm.
Conte who said that, and another coach in Spain, after Messi mesmerized them, and then they said, "You are taking a pic with Messi, and this guy just did what he did to us." Hey, where am I going to get this guy? So allow me to take a pic for my children, for my archives. Pete, thank you so much. Much appreciated. Thanks for your time. AFCON is
And
gonna
maybe one thing,
yeah.
Saubrey,
Mm-hmm.
good win for Man City in the UEFA Champions League at Real Madrid. It was
Okay.
a game of two halves, as they would
Mm-hmm.
say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think City dominated in the first half
Mm-hmm.
and went 2-1 in, and there was no goals in the second half. But Real were all over us, but we managed to keep them out.
No,
Uh,
it doesn't matter. What is important is
sure,
win. What is important
sure,
is win because win plays that psychological impact.
yeah.
Win one
And
nil or
then,
what?
yeah. And in terms of the Premier League today, we've got a couple of interesting lineups there. So today we'll see Chelsea take on Everton. Everton have been playing quite nicely at the moment, and Chelsea have not been playing to their potential, to be honest with you.
Mm.
So that should be a very interesting game. Liverpool, they're playing Brighton, which are nobody's mugs, but they are at home. So they'll be looking for some improvement there because Liverpool and the fight with Salah, which
I wanted to
we've done
touch on
before.
that one. I wanted to
Yeah,
touch on that one.
yeah,
Jamie
yeah,
Carragher was just on
yeah.
Salah.
Well, this actually, in a way, is like Bruce and Mbokazi, man. It's having an impact on the team, and we just hope that that isn't the case, and they really have smoked the peace pipe, as they say.
I saw that a
Yeah,
little bit, yeah.
yeah. And Arsenal versus Wolves. So Arsenal top, only 2 points ahead of us now, with
Mm,
Wolves, the bottom club there. So I think Arsenal should pull away there quite easily.
mm,
We got a tough game at Crystal Palace tomorrow. It's 4 o'clock.
mm, mm,
And our friends down the track there from Manchester City is Man United, and they're playing Bolton on Monday at 2200 hours. So if there's any of our viewers like watching the Premier League there. There's a couple of interesting games that are taking place there.
mm. Look, I'm going to try to learn your skills of cooking. My wife is not well too today, so
Oh, yeah.
I must juggle around and cook.
Ah.
That's one skill I want to learn, yeah, you won't eat much. I don't cook well, and I love
Hey,
it.
so
I
we're not
love
gonna
good food.
we're not gonna have a TBR cooking lessons show, are we?
Yeah, I will do it at some point. Thank you so much, Pete. Thank you so much for
Cheers.
those people who subscribe. I really
Yeah.
appreciate the previous show with Coach Khabo Zondo flew high, and then Coach Khabo Zondo gave good analysis. And I spoke to him that maybe we can do the analysis of the AFCON together as a former national coach. But depending on his availability, he said, no, no, I don't see any problem. And before I leave, a friend of mine, whom I owe him a very much credit, Chomani of Lesedi FM, he has written a book which will be released soon. You'll see it towards the end. I'm playing that advert of his book. This is the man who did well in his life. His radio show was one of the best. At some point, SABC, in honoring him, they allowed him to visit Brazil to go and see how radios are doing there. And then he said he was given an opportunity to be in the studio with the guy who was the best DJ in that country with more than 100 and something million listeners, which was an honor because he was also doing well in his time. So this is the guy who really promoted my books. So hence I'm prepared to promote his books. And as soon as the book is released, when I show the books to be sold, that will be one of them. Pete, thank you so much. Much appreciated. If you don't talk, I wish I can have you during Christmas because AFCON is just around the corner. If I don't have you, because I know you've got visitors from
You're
UK,
houseful.
around, and then your boys from China and the grandson and all that. It's going to be very difficult for you to have you. But if I have you, I'll appreciate it. If I don't have it, if I don't have you, please enjoy it. Have a very nice one. But me and you will always be talking. We'll be also doing research for me, and then we'll take it from Pete. Rekaofela sisonke on sesam rotle singwe remoho. The beat goes on. Thank you, Pete.
Cheers, viewers. Cheers, Saubrey.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. We are back. My name is the Saubrey Boys, Walefatshe from TBR, which simply means the Big R Solutions. Here I'm representing the company called the Big R Financial Service Provider, Financial Services, which is an authorized and registered service provider. Our license number is FSP 47430. I'm talking to all government employees, age 55 and above, who are already thinking of exiting the system. They either want to go on pension or they want to resign. Two things that comes to mind. How do I save? How do I save on penalties? How do I ensure that the tax is not so huge? What can I do to make sure that I achieve those goals? Now, if you want to know how to achieve those goals, come to us, drop us a WhatsApp, we'll call you. The WhatsApp number is very simple. It's 067 915 1447. 067 915 1447. Drop us a WhatsApp. Don't call, but drop us a WhatsApp. And then we are working together with Allen Gray on this product, on this project. So Allen Gray is our product supplier. So we assist people using that product supply. So it's up to you to give us a shout or drop us a WhatsApp. We'll therefore come back to you. I thank you.
Kgotsong, ke le tsebetsa ka buka ya ka e buang ka tsela yeo ke tsamaileng bophelong ba ka. Le tla utlwa ka mathata ao ke bileng le ona le katleho yeo ke e fihletseng. Hape le hore radio e nkahile jwang hore ke fetole bophelo ba ka. Takatso ya ka ke hore o fumane buka ena ya ka e tla fetola bophelo ba hao. Ya buang ke Dr. Chomani. Take it easy.